audio. That's my microphone audio. Oh boy, now we got both of them firing away. Yeah, buddy. If I do this, does it mute? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm still stoned. She's still Natural Queen Bee. We're still Natural Typical Gamers. Today is New Tunes Day. We're jamming some bass. Beat that string of death. Alright. So that is a piece of something that we're going to be working on today. That's going to ultimately be what we're going to use for our new intro song. Let me get sat down and or something. So we can say hi to you like people. Sorry for breathing in the mic. I didn't realize that this thing is as intense as it is, and I thought I had this thing still hooked up. So I should have set this up as an ASMR for people breathing. However, I wanted it to be about bass. So that's what it's about. So I don't know if I need to set the compressor higher or the gate higher. Maybe the gate higher. Just set the gate to like 9 or 10. So that way I pop in and out and I sound like a robot. That's a little bit much for me. So it does this because the air conditioner behind me makes a ass ton of noise, and anytime I have anything remotely nearby, it does this. We're not using this bad boy. We're using the headset again because that's how we have to do when we jam with this thing. It's just the nature of the beast, guys. There's nothing we can do about it. So here's the trick for today. The last few times that we've done music, or I've even had music on my channel, we've gotten copyright. And so they demonetize the videos or take them down. Not like I'm getting paid for any of these anyways at this point, but still, it's generally, I'd want to try and get in the practice of not have that happen, so that's not an issue. Sometimes this has happened where where I get other people's music from, like, it's coming through their headphones, or however, through the mic, through voice chat, in the game, and that screws us up. So to get around some of these problems, also because we need a little bit more music on the channel, ironically, those that know me from like Facebook and things know that I came to this world through music, and that's what I do. That's what I live for. And now that I have a machine that has this much power, it's beautiful to get to make music. And now I get to have the opportunity to share making some music with you guys, the same way that we go through and make characters on video games, or go through and battle through levels and anything like that. The same way that we go with that, I get to take you into the battle of making music, which is equal parts fun and frustrating. Definitely Dark Souls and Fallout at the same time for me, which is beautiful as far as where we're at. So let's go ahead and toggle in the game mode. Remember, guys, this and every one of our broadcasts is brought to you through the help of our excellent and beautiful patrons. Without these beautiful people, we would not be able to keep doing this thing. It would not work out. We would be game over, and we wouldn't never have started this to begin with. So shout out to these beautiful people for helping us out. Soulkeeper, Darkstar Nova Phoenix, and Orc1. So let's get right to it. This is the jam page. This is where we're normally going to do jamming, chatting, things like that at. Text does populate to this side, so if you guys type anything in, it should pop up, including any of the sound commands, which should still work. I don't have as many rock and roll commands in here as I rightly should have. I have a couple of them in here. We'll go over one that I just added. But oh, the fucking chatbot's not on again. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are doing everything on the fly, as usual. Which is pretty par for the course, but that's alright. As long as we make it work out. So this gate's not working out for me. I have too low of a voice, and I have too much of a slow attack on my voice for that type of a gate to work effectively. And we're going to kind of go over some of that today. We're going to explain what some of this means. What do you mean by a gate? What do you mean by thresholds? What the fuck are you talking about? Boom, prepare yourselves. This is kind of going to be a little bit of DAW talk, which is Digital Audio Workstation, which is going to be how to record things on the computer. And then what we're probably going to do once we get some tones and a few things figured out, I really want to go into Fallout, and I want to play some music while a Queen battle is happening. So we'll see who's online later, who's doing what, who's running silos, where they're at. And then what we're going to do is go to the site, wherever they're at, post up, turn off push to talk, and we're going to jam until we piss somebody off, or we make a bunch of friends, or both. I'm going to try going with people that want me to go in the first place, so it's not just like, oh, fuck, this guy's coming and reading our shit. No. I got a couple friends who I've threatened to go play music while we've had a Queen fight, and then every time I do, I just get all Leroy Jenkins, and never get around to actually just jamming the music. I've probably the last few streams that we've done, you'll see me there with my bass sitting just like this, and I'm playing on the fucking keyboard or mouse and shit and doing the thing, and instead of playing music. So we're gonna try doing that this time, like I said. Fallout 76 is the one that we're probably going to go to, just because that's where all the homies are at. That's an excellent place. I have one song I definitely want to play while we're out there, and I don't know how we're going to do that, because I can't play with the record. If I do play with the record, we're probably going to get copyrighted on both YouTube and Facebook. So what ultimately we're going to do, guys, this might be the last of our New Tunes days that is on the multi-stream. We are probably going to start doing all of our music-based streaming exclusively on Twitch. To Twitch and Mixer exclusively instead of Facebook, until I can get whatever the copyright nonsense is figured out with all that. Because I don't need that garbage, you don't need that garbage. We're just here to have some fun and make beautiful things happen. Am I right? I know we're right. I don't have a clap sound. I need to get clapping. Or like something like that. I just have the yay. I have yay. There we go. Let's see if that works. Okay. A little bit of a delay on it, but it still works out. A little bit of stream update. We are 10 minutes into the stream. We are 25% drop frames and looks like slowly increasing. So that's alright. We'll see how this thing starts doing once we start throwing more effects into it. So, part of the problem right now, you're not going to be able to see. Let me see if I can fix this. 3, 4. Over here. So what I might try and do is capture this whole screen, so that way I can show you what we're up to. Let's switch to player mode. Bang. Really, bro? You're gonna do me like this, aren't you? Well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to set up a display capture. So we'll add source, capture display. We'll call it element. There we go. And we'll capture the cursor. So bam, there we go. Now we get to see the screen. Go ahead and toggle this up. We don't need any of that. Let's hold you right here, stretch you down, boom. And that's everything. Let's go ahead and pull this down and put this in our capture section, so we always know where to find it. And so we can toggle it on and off now. So hooray! Now we look at, this is a very similar looking screen, isn't it? So, I'm gonna get rid of everything I just did to make that sound, which is just like one thing. And we're gonna go through and we're gonna remake tones really quick from scratch so you guys can know how to do this best. If any of you guys are using a microphone at home for any reason, if you have a DAW that you can use for processing, it will use a little bit more power. Oh, let's be real about this. It's gonna use a lot more power depending on where it's at. My system doesn't really flex that hard running Ableton 9, but I mean this is like a 10-15-year-old program at this point. This is ancient. Probably if you're using a newer iteration it'd probably use more power, but a lot of you guys are already running an ass ton of power to begin with. Especially on Twitch, you guys run computers that make me scared. Yeah, it literally makes me want to run. Mommy, it's gonna hurt me. No. So what we're gonna do here is show you how to efficiently make and process some tones to use it, hopefully as little resources as possible, but get you some of the best tone. And you can use this for either vocal, you can use this for guitar, pretty much anything that you can route in. And depending on how you go about this, you can actually even use this for handling artificial audio, or what do you call it, digital audio. So let's go through and start with some of the things that we need. Over on the left hand, if you look in Ableton at least, you should usually start with a screen very similar like this. There'll be a whole bunch of pre-started demo effects in here. We got rid of all of them, just left one audio track because we just need this guy to come through. And that's my tone right now where it stands. And I do like a snappier, poppier tone. I play with very light strings, so they do get a little bit poppier, but I like a heavy. So that rocks and rolls like that. We like to rock and roll all night long. That's a sample we need. Yes. Immediately. Okay. So, shutting up. Let's get right to it. Go into your audio effects folder in Ableton, which will be on the left-hand side, hiding behind Natural Typical Gamers, which is probably not the most necessary thing to have right now, but I'm going to leave it just because I don't want to break everything. We're going to go to, scroll all the way down, go under Utility. When you click on this little arrow here on the utility, and you're going to get a thing called mono. Click mono, drop it onto your audio effects for that channel. So to start off, delete everything. Click on the track that you want to put the audio effects on. Go over to audio effects, scroll down to utility, mono, and you can either double left click, which will populate, or you can click and drag. Either method will work just fine. Once you get mono effect in, you just want to check. What that's going to do is take the stereo effect that this thing has. So when I plug my bass into this, my bass is a mono input. This processor only outputs in stereo. So I'm having one channel of audio and one channel of nothing. So what this does is it takes that one channel of audio and fills up the entire spectrum with that channel. So instead of where if I was playing this without that, it would only be going through one ear. Now it's going through both ears. And generally, I also have this set up so it should be processing in mono, theoretically, but this helps me do it just to make sure of it. It also is a good thing to get used to depending on what sound you're putting in, so you can make really amplified bass effects. We're going to show you some of that because I love that. I love that sub bass. Like straight up like dub bass. Like it should hurt you at times and it should feel good. If it's not, something's wrong. So next thing you got to do is pick out what type of tone that you're going to process in with that. We've got a mono right here. Another thing that I like having that we can either put in now or put in later, I'll put in now just so we can see how sound changes. Because some people it works a little bit better visually to see sound. And to be able to see the sound that you're making, you can get a thing called a spectrum, which is just it's the next thing above utility. I don't know what other ones. There's accurate, fast, linear, model. I normally just grab the stock spectrum and just throw it here because it will show you a rough what the audio looks like. See how each of those spikes that are going all the way from the far side, well, let's go this way, from the far side to the high side. The far left side is going to be the bass tones and frequencies, so all in here is all the bass tones, all in here is all the trebles. So to show you, for example, when I hit that low B, this whole thing pops up at a very linear curve going towards the bass spectrum. When I go up here, whole section right here that it starts picking up at from the mid-range. The bass, pretty much any acoustic instrument is going to produce the entire range of spectrum. What it will produce is specific harmonics within there. Then those are the spikes that you see in though. So each of those spikes are the pieces that make this sound, arguably. They're a metric of the pieces that make up the sound. They're not the actual sound itself. It's just how we can measure it. So once you have that, that'll help you get a look at it. Now we can go through and pick another sound. One thing that's a very good thing to do, depending on where you're at, is you get some multiband processing. What this is called multiband dynamics. There used to be a thing when at least my fathers and other things like that were processing audio. It was a BBE, it's sound maximizer. What it is a compressor. So it compresses the audio tones. What it does is it takes a lot of, I'm going to show you all these spikes that you see in here where there's these big dips all throughout. It's going to smush those together, nice and easy like, and make them a nice smooth even loop, which will change the tonality. So let's go ahead and drop this in here, just the blank stock factory one. That'll also show you an idea of the sound that we're getting. So right here on the bottom we have our bass frequencies, our mid-range frequencies, and our high frequencies or treble frequencies. So from each of those, if we just jam, so you can see how each of the different areas both make the spectrum move and this graph move as well. Those are just designed to help you kind of get a visual representation of where in the sound band are your frequencies going, or where are they rather, because we're identifying their positions. So and from that we can fix and mold the audio. So for instance, let's say we need a little bit more treble in here to kind of brighten the tone up. If you grab the bar on the left hand side, see how it makes a blue kind of situation? Actually the blue is because I messed with the inside. These controls get really advanced. I've been playing with this program for years and years and years, and I still don't have this entire thing down pat. There's people that'll explain this whole thing to you in 15 minutes. We're going to have fun. Just like every other game, just like everything else we do, this is about get good. We're here to just have fun. So in this case, we have, here's our tone, which is hit a note, a low E, and let it ring. If I pull this up and squeeze this in, then I amplify the treble, you can hear that static picking up. Remember, most static and noises that come in and are processed are going to be in the treble frequencies. They're very high. That's a static. Things like that are going to be very high end. And you can see even from the spectrum graph here that even if I go, like for instance, we'll just set this on the table right here. If I go to the highest note I could possibly play on this, see how it's all between what looks like about, was that 800 hertz? And then less than 10,000 hertz? Whereas this frequency band is designed to amplify everything from 2,500 hertz higher. Sorry guys, my cable's in really bad shape. I got donations are going to go to fix new equipment. I need some new bits. All the stuff is almost as old as I am. So part of this can be used for frequency modulation. I'm actually going to reset this to default so we can leave it alone for now. We will play with this later as we get other tones in here and we decide to shape this up, because we might have some more rogue tones that come through. I am getting a lot of static through it, and part of that is from this mic, and that's picking up ambient because we have the fan and stuff behind us. There's other things happening that are being processed, and I'm like 90% sure I have a loose ground somewhere in this house, and that's making weird fuzzy things happen. But I need to get an electrician for that. That's something else, or tools and sort it out. Anyways, always call just a professional to fix your stuff. Moving onwards, we are going ahead and can I reset you to default? It wants me to save as default. So really, I guess I could just delete it, drag another one in, boom. What I'm going to do now, I've added in an amplifier to this. It's an amplifier. What it is a program that replicates tone. It's a phenomenal program. I love these guys. They had this on sale last month, and I got it. I got it actually for free. It was pay what you could get. I got it for free, but they have a bunch of other good stuff I'm about ready to go get. They got sales pitches on point. Going through, we're going to jump on the plugins and grab this thing called a grind machine too. Now, we actually have two different things that we're going to put in here, and one of them says grind machine, but it's not. This is grind machine. This is going to be our bass. This is going to be our amplifier. So this is going to take our tone and take it from, let me shut this off so we can get an idea. So from that, if I hit this guy on, But it also, because it's designed for a guitar amplifier, it's going to pick up a lot of significantly higher pitch frequencies and amplify them and augment them. That's going to make things sound kind of sometimes funky and nasty and gross, but sometimes that's fun and what you need. You want something that's going to really make it pop. Well, depending on what your tones you're looking for, you want it to either pop or be subtle. You want it to either be strong or you want it to be seem weak. And that's all useful because it adds tonality and dynamics to whatever you're playing. So this has a bass mode in it. This has two different sets of settings in here. The top set is going to be your what's called your head rack for a guitar, which is your amplifier portion, what we call the amplifier on top that you plug your guitar into. It takes your guitar signal and increases the volume of that signal out. The bottom part is going to represent modeling a cabinet, which is going to be the speaker portion on the bottom of it that actually has the speakers that produce the sound. Both of those components are vital to making live sound, are arguably vital to making live sound when playing with analog instruments in an analog setting. In a digital setting, however, we, for sake of comfortability to those of us coming from the old school, it allows us to arguably find tones and make the tones that we are wanting to hear based on things that we've heard. Now this thing right here, like I said, was got for a free program, but they offer for $5, I think, so it's spectacular. You plug this right in, it comes with instructions, you download it, put it right in, and then gives you access to all these tones. All of these tones are augmentable. You can change every one of them, get different ones, you can mix and match. So for instance, this is the default. Am I on? Is it on? It's Accutronics. So this is what started off, 90210, which is going to be more like an LA rock metal sound, I guess. If I plug the guitar in, it would sound more familiar. But this is actually a bass, guys. This is not a guitar. It's just a giant ass bass. This is Mjolnir. This is my buddy. I didn't introduce you guys. This is also a Naturotypical gamer. It's a Naturotypical bass. So we're gonna go through, and here's a couple different tones. We're just gonna toggle through for a minute, I guess, just to kind of get an idea. For this one, what I played earlier when we first got on air, the setting I had was on Bass Master. I toggled the Big Fat Grinder, and all of these settings were as is. Wanted a little bit more gain. What gain does, to illustrate, that's what the tone sounds like now. If I raise the gain, fortissimo, right? Low, picks it up. And each of these allow you to change it. For instance, you can drop some in the middle out, drop some of the treble out, so it gets really bassy and fuzzy. Let's put this back at 12. Just up and down. There's a bunch of little ways you can go in here, so let's get something in here. I want a little bit more treble, just a touch more. Touch more bass. We'll drop the mids out. Give a little bit more presence. What a gate does is a gate is a noise canceller. So if I put that on right there, for instance, how my microphone's making this noise, if I want to stop, but we don't have that for guitar. For guitar, what I have is I have a volume knob that I roll back and forth as I play. That allows me to cut the volume as I'm going or turn the volume back on as you're going, which is apparently a very old school technique that people didn't learn now. You guitar players, you have a thing called a volume knob. Please fucking use it. You don't just crank your guitar amp as high as you can and just hope for the best. No. Ironically, you can set your guitar amplifier at a reasonable volume and control almost your entire tone and everything with using just your volume knobs. I can give an iteration of this or an example of this here in a few minutes, but for now, We're gonna go ahead and proceed on because there's something that's far more important that all of you monkeys need. I know because I needed it and I ran around. Oh, I don't need none of this shit. There's two things all you motherfuckers need. Everybody needs. Every single person on Earth needs. You need a metronome. This is built into this already. It's already part of this whole situation. The second thing you need, arguably, and you could go back and forth, is a tuner. You need a tuner. So, I've got one called G-Tune, which was a free one that I found on Google. I downloaded it, put it in here. What this does, it allows me to, which should have been how we started the fucking program in the beginning. I apologize, guys. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. So I'm going to bring my volume up to about a full volume. You can give it the beans. So we start, how I tune all my instruments is from the center strings outward. So that way it evenly balances weight. If you have a great big, like I'm going to show you the 8 string, big blue here in a minute. Start from the beginning out and then check top down. And that way if you have a whammy bar or anything like that, which I have on that, which we'll get to that, it'll explain. This is a fixed bridge, bass, 6 string. It's all together. Yes, that's a guitar pick in there. This needs to be adjusted. I'm going to show my ghetto fix. Oh, it doesn't show. Because we're black and white. We've got a camera from the 50s in here, guys. We're in the 20th century and we're running with 1950s gear. Alright. First thing, start from center out. In this case, center top string, which is A. Part of this is also because it's easy to find, it's easy to get trained and teach yourself where the tuning pegs are at. So for instance, my tuning pegs are A, D, this one way at the end, E, top one, middle top. Damn it, I know what I did wrong. I screwed up my calibration. So I play in 432, which is a very old style of tuning. There's a lot of reasons for this. We can go into a whole reason why 432. And now I made all my stuff sharp. So start again. A, then D, we'll just go G. Normally I do the A, E, but G, which is already in tune. E I beat the piss out of. Top string is going to be C. C. And see, within a few cents, it happens. I'm not really stupendously worried about it. And then B, which is farther slow. Okay. And that's it. Once you have one of that in there, which is very useful, if you leave your tuner hooked up in the beginning of it, however it is, it won't tune. One thing nice about a digital tuner is it will not disrupt your tone, it will not cause any problems with that, but it will always help. Let me go ahead and check this out. Let's see who's hanging out, who's around. Who's still in here? Is anyone actually even watching this? I can't tell. Did everybody go play Fallout 76 already? Did I miss the party? I missed the party, didn't I? They all left me. They're all blowing up queens, and I'm not ready. So, I'll be real with you guys. Part of one thing I was wanting to do really bad was, I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan. I guess not huge, whatever, but I love the first album and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to go play War Pigs while we kill the queen. I think that'd be phenomenal. That's one of them. I got like a whole list that I want to play. Just lots of good old doomy stoner stuff. This is great because it's old metal. It's what metal came from. And that's what it's about. So for instance, let's have at it. So if we were going to get that good old Geezer Butler tone, what I do, because I like this, how it sounds, because that kind of fuzzy, let's try it. Alright, I can hear some difficult things with the tone. This thing is picking up a lot of treble, so we're going to cut the treble down. We're going to actually bring the mids up and see if that helps. Back the bass off a touch. I've got the gain cranked to the moon. Let's back that up a touch. Got a little bit of presence. A little bit of more presence. Okay, so there was indeed a fire, but it's a fire that's supposed to be there, I guess. So it's my neighbor's truck. It's a diesel, and it smells like it's on fire, and it's not actually. I don't actually think it's on fire itself. Okay, let's get the bass and get back to this. Hang on. So I'll completely level with you guys. If if I get copyright for playing a thing without having like the backing or anything else for it, I would like take that as an honor. Like, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think I'm that good. So let's make some more noise. So this bass is doing weird, goofy stuff. So if we look on the spectrometer, or a spectrum rather, I guess it is a spectrometer, spectrometer, we see all of this. There's this like weird rogue fuzzies going on up here that don't match the type of waves that we're dealing with here. I don't know if I can zoom in on that or not. But we're going to go over here to the EQ, and first of all I'm going to change this style into a drop off. So it cuts the top off. And see how it goes away? So that works better, but we're still missing big chunks of sound, which to me is really harsh and I'm not okay with it. So let's pull this back up to normal. We're going to try a different type. We're going to try a drop. What this does is cuts out only a certain frequency range, so that way we can have the rest of the frequency band, theoretically, to use. So let's try this. We'll open the Q wider, see if that helps. So it gets a little bit more kind of a rush tone out of it, gets a little bit brighter, happier, poppier. Let's see if we can just get rid of the buzz and try and get as much of that tone as possible except the buzz. Now, see how we have all the top end picked up, but we got these lows that are getting out of hand too, which isn't helpful. We gotta wrangle some of those in a bit. Let's add a little bit of a curve to it, bell it out a bit. So it's a little bit more rushy, got a little bit more into it, but let's see if we can get some. We need more punch. I think we got rid of all the roguies. All the roguies. I don't know what to call them besides that. They were just weird sounds that don't make no sense. Now, part of this, guys, being completely real is going to be this. Can I has my machine? back it all up a little bit. Try it again. So it's good, plenty of punch, but we don't have enough bright. We need a little bit more bright in there. Now there's a couple ways we can go about that. We can try changing the amp bass combination, or the amp and head combination, and see if that does something. But if that isn't, what we can also do is try checking our volume knobs and built-in guitar tone, see if that does. All that so I normally like it. Let's try moving our EQ around, see if we can find that sweet spot, maybe give a little bit more. Let's try heating. This thing has a built-in compressor inside of it. Let's see what this does. It almost sounds better with the microphone just picking up the clack of the strings. That's kind of nice. I don't know, I kind of like it. Maybe just because what I'm used to, but... So say for instance you weren't necessarily looking for a fuzzier tone, but something just cleaner and had a little bit more pop to it. This thing had a blues in there, which is a little bit more classic bass tone. To get that, we bring the gain back down, put about 5. Bring the presence. One thing we can also add in here to help soften things up a bit that usually works out when you have a really harsh tone like that that's rich, maybe a little bit more dirty and or rich depending on how you're looking at it. You can add a little bit of reverb in there. A little bit of touch of reverb works good. I always tell people less reverb is more, but some people more reverb. Some people like more reverb. So here's just a reverb in. So depending on the sharpness or whatever else you're playing with or however else you're going about it, you can have different little pieces to put in there and have at it. I'm just checking to see if anyone's in chat or what's up with that. What's good, Bear Honey Jar? How long have you been there? Hi, Bear. I feel bad I didn't say hi right away. Jesus. I don't trust Streamlabs when it tells me that what's in chat or what's not in chat or who's there. It sometimes tells me people that are there that aren't there, and then sometimes it tells me people that aren't there that are there. But if you are there, let's try this out. Maybe the command works? That's not the right command. That's not how the shutout works. What's going on, dude? Anyways. I just want this thing has programmed to do. Really, guys? Really, guys? I guess I need to get the shout out command reprogrammed in here. But go twitch.tv/bearhoneyjar. Go follow her. She's fucking badass. I don't know who else was in there or watching. But while we're here, moving onwards. So there's a bunch of ways. So we're gonna go about, and we'll try to use a cleaner tone for the bass for this. We'll try to back off the wetness on the tone, which is how much of the tone is happening. It's just like the mute button. I have a terrible tendency of I just roll on talking instead of, you know, unmute the damn mic and then I can talk to you guys like people. But anyways, we got the mic done. So the next thing that you're gonna do once you get your tones and everything picked out, you get the rough relative same bits that you want. You're gonna want to go ahead and start tracking some bits through. So that's the next phase of what we're about ready to start to do. I suppose I should take a break and go refill my water real quick, but what we really need to do is go ahead and get some stuff tracked in here so we can actually finish making our entrance song. It'd be nice to have like a little intro, right, to the stream. That's kind of what we're gonna do. I've been using orbs for that, and orbs works really well. Orbs and fuck, I love it when I forget the names of my own damn songs. Y'all not ready for this. But we want one that's for that. So what I've done is taken an old, not an old song, but it's one of my songs that I wrote from a long time ago, and we're gonna go ahead and produce that here today, at least as best as we can, and try and roll on. Now I did have parts of this that were done before, but I didn't like them so much, so we're gonna do it all over again. And like I said, good opportunity for us to use this as something to learn from. So rolling on with it, we're gonna try tracking again. Okay. Which is really difficult because I don't have like a foot switch to do this or nothing. I have to do the mouse and then do this. So you gotta watch how. This is how to not do this. You should Go buy a button or something. I mean, surely they have a foot pedal button. That's what I need. I need a foot pedal on button, like a start stop record, and then a whammy. I need an electric a whammy, or what do you call it? Well, just yeah, a pedal that connects to the computer. So I go wow 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 wow, without having to distort the audio signal that comes in. I'd rather distort the audio signal after the fact because you can actually put a wah pedal in. You can actually make an entire pedal board with this thing on this. But what I don't have is a pedal to interact here to interact with those effects and make those happen there. Because I don't have the money to buy a pedal board. I'm not that cool. I have some pedals and I have a pedal board that I've used for a long time that works. But I come to find that some of the tones don't work on it well. It picks up a lot of buzzing. There's other things like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm buzzing. Maybe that's what's going on with this thing. Are you buzzing? No, I brought me car. Alright, I'm going to take a quick five. You guys take a quick five. I'm going to be right back and we're going to start writing things down. Okay, guys, we're back. It's Noodle City. Prepare for noodles. Alright, I like that. In a nutshell, I kind of like that tone. So we're going to go ahead and track with that. And we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to do this thing in pieces. So one thing that Ableton allows you to do is I can record each piece as a loop and then play each of those loops in order as I need them. And basically I program the robot to play my parts, which are kind of goofy. And it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but this is the future, right? We got to live with it. I can imagine how the old blues guys felt 100 years ago when they were like, "What do you mean you're putting me on this here record? And this here devil's doing this here to me?" It's like, yep, it's exactly like that. But now we've got a giant computerized devil to do it for us. So let's see what we can make it do. So first of all, we need a metronome, like I was just crying at you guys about. So 2 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 130. Let's hear what the beeps sound like. Oh. I was picking up my voice because I had the fucking recorder on. I didn't realize to do that. That's creepy. Alright, we're going to mute it and try that again. So for instance, those first 2 bars were good, and that's what I was wanting. And the 3rd bar I screwed up. So, what do you do in that case? Well, if you bring your mouse right down here to the bottom, there's a little section where you see this little audio tab. It looks like a little audio wave. Well, we click on that. That's actually the audio wave of what we recorded. So now we mute the guitar so we're not hearing that noise. We're still hearing the cable. Sorry, guys. I suppose I can just mute the guitar. There we go. I always worry about that, though, because I'm like, oh my god, why isn't it working? You muted it, bro. You muted it. Okay. So now if we press play on this section, that'll play what we just made. So theoretically right here was the good section. So let's see if we can play that so it loops together. So I think I can make that a little smoother. Let's try that a little smoother. So for that I'm just going to keep sad down because I'm fat. We're going to do it that way. So I literally just did the thing I was talking about. Just for curiosity, let's hear it. So it was good, but it wasn't able to make a loop out of it because it wasn't an entire loop section. So the way that we would do this, like especially if we were writing it out, it would be, you know, the 2-bar section there, and then it would have the ending dun 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 dun. So we're gonna record those as 2 separate pieces. Then we're gonna go into the timeline and we're gonna actually paint them where we want them. So going in line. I suppose I could just blast the entire thing out as a one-shot and then go over and track again in pieces, which is how you're supposed to do it. So what I mean by that is, if you click on this button right here, we can look at it in linear time, where it starts from 0 time on the left to the end of the song at the right. You can see that there's nothing in there right now because we haven't recorded anything in it. So the way to do this would be, we would press record here, and we're going to play. I'm going to play the whole thing like I did at the beginning of the show. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to retrack in pieces over that. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourselves. Had the mic on again, my bad. There is the intro to that piece that gets it going, and it goes something like this. So that's effectively it. There were a few more pieces. I'd initially written it so it was a longer piece for guitars and things like this, and it was to be for live band and things. But I'm like, you know what? Sounds like fucking something for a dang a good old dang video games. We don't want to try that. So let's go ahead and open this up. We're going to zoom out to all time. Can I see all time? So some of them I know the time was off, and that's wasn't less. So what you're gonna do with your initial doodle, you're gonna put everything out so you have all your pieces where you need them to be located in time. Then you're gonna go through and retrack. What we are gonna actually do, right click on this, we're going to duplicate the track. We're going to click on that and delete the track from this one. Then what we're gonna go ahead and do is toggle back into, I forget the names of each of these modes. There's timeline mode, and then there's like the sample mode. From sample mode, we're going to arm this channel, so that way all of this audio effects, which should be the same, they should have duplicated everything from the one channel to the next. That way we can go ahead and retract these. So we're going to start with the first bit, which is da na 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 na. So that was pretty good. That's just ba-na-na, 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 bam. So now we do the next part, which we're going to click on the section beneath it there, because we don't want both of those bass of those bass pieces playing at the same time. Rather, we want them to play in a bit of an offset. So we're going to press this one, and this one's going to go instead. So what I should have done is just played the part that I wanted to do right there. I was going to play with the accompaniment, but I'm like, forget it. Never mind. Control Z, Control R. Let's do this again. Too many pieces and got a couple wrong bits in there. Let's try that again. Let's see if the single one loops. So let's see how that one came out. So, and it looped. Dun, 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 dun. And then that would be dun, 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 dun. And that one stops. That's just bam. Because we're going to have another one that's which is the drone. And out. Suppose I could have cut both of those like that. But that would make sense. And we don't want to make too much sense, guys. Too much sense is for normies. Who am I talking about? I make a shit ton of sense. Cause what? Do you want to say hi, Boo Boo? What are you doing? No. No, you were just outside and your mom fed you and everything. Boo does this every time I'm talking to you guys, or you can tell that like, hey, he's engaging his friends or something else. He's like, oh, I gotta go say hi. Boo Boo says hi, guys. No. That's fine. God, he's so insistent. He's very childlike for a dog. You don't get to do that. After Queen Bee takes a step out the door, he loses his mind. See, your mom was right there. back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and that's how we do around here. Alright, let me check everything out here. Let's see who's going. How's it going, everybody? We're back again. So, we have the 2 pieces out of the mess more that we need yet to have. I'm not sure. I guess I can roll this back down. So, we have okay. And I guess we have the next part in there that goes something like this. Get up and dance. It's like try without sucking, bro. Hang on. We can try that again a little smoother. Keep it. Bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum. You know what I'm talking about. Let's do this. Didn't feel dead on, but let's hear it. This is why you practice with the metronome and record. You don't just practice the metronome, you practice the record with the metronome and record so you can compare yourself to how you sounded earlier and then how you sound now. Alright, see that because that looped out. It's okay for some imperfections and a few things to be in there, as long as the wheel comes the whole way around and bing. So, so we've got the three different pieces now. So So that's basically how some of the parts work, but we can hear that in comparison to what the original one was. So for instance, if we were to, sorry, the dogs are all wigging out because my dad's dog came down to come and say hi. So because he's down here saying hi, it's wigging everybody out. So let's hear the original tape with the recuts, and let's see if we can play the recuts in time to make this pieces happen. Alright. We only have some of them. We don't have the dives or swoops or fun sounds that I make while I play. But RoboStone has some pieces. So let's program RoboStone. Okay, so ready? So that was disturbing, and I apologize. I'm not sure why that was. Let me actually just solo this channel and see what it sounds like. So if we hear ours, or the other one rather, RoboStone sounds like. Let's go. So we're gonna just so we can talk about these easier. This is gonna be stone. We're gonna rename this RoboStone. Robotone. RoboStone. I guess to make it effective the way it should be, it will be Mecha Stone. Because of the Godzilla of my life, we must have Mecha Stone. So let's make Mecha Stone do the thing. So it's so because we don't have the breaks, part of that broke down. So whenever you have audio samples, like you could do this, doesn't matter. You could be doing this with drums, you could be doing this with keyboard, whatever you're doing. Once you're in Ableton, you have these things down. You click this little play arrow on the right hand side. So we're gonna go boop, just like that, and we're gonna get it to pop up so we can see where we're at now. And you can see if we look right here, there's this little bit. Let's zoom in. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom. My jungle love. Oh wee oh. So let's put a little bit of a break in between that. So let's go. So actually this should go back. This should go right there. And let's try that. We had not at a high enough resolution for that to be effective. The attack was ineffective. So we can see that the wavelength signature of it is almost the same. So let's back up a bit. Let's see how that sounds. So I guess right about here maybe? Okay. So one option that we also have the ability to do is we can actually come up here to this one, and if we wanted to, like for instance, if this one sounded better, let's listen to it. So that one really wasn't in as much time, I felt like, as the other one, as this other one was. Let's see if we can make the transition here make sense. So we'll zoom back out a bit. We'll click over here. Wait. Not really sure what the hell I just did. Oh, that did, because that wasn't an entire. Is that not the entire piece? Switch to Mecha Stone. So we programmed Mecha Stone a little bit better and on time in certain pieces, but they sound awkward with one another because they didn't sound fluid when I recorded them in the first place. I love how I'm just calling it Mecha Stone. It's kind of weird. It's kind of freaking me out the more I'm saying it. So we should almost take that back to right there. Pop that right there. Let's see if... Not enough resolution, so we zoom in closer. Enhance. 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 Is this actually working? Hang on, I got an incoming message. Let's exit out of this. Let's see if we can make this make noise. So because that was a really harsh hit in between there, we didn't catch it on the down. The pop's gonna be right there. So that was the beginning of the dun dun dun. So this actually needs to be right here. And then we butt that up to it. Let's see if we can make those frequencies bounce. Sorry, incoming message. Okay. So now we're out of there. Let's go back over here. Let's see if we can... Can I fade this? So you click on Show Fades. We pull this over here. This allows to crosshatch. So let's try Mecha Stone and regular stone all the way through. That's both. And then it looped. as opposed to real stone, which sounds like. Ooh, sick all out of time. Okay. So part of the things that you do with this is you're supposed to record just all your bass sets first and then record in levels. So kind of the same way that you paint with the painting where you start with your background first and you work your way forward to the foreground. With audio you want to start from your bass and work your way up. Or more relevantly, you need to work from your rhythmic components first and then to your all the way up to your melodic components and your singing components. So in this is I've kind of skipped a lot of that and we just haul ass into it and just go buck wild. And that's good and fun. However, like for instance, the bass for this would be like a. Let's fight. Put audio to it. Where's my audio at? Damn it! Give me my audio, you son of a bitch. Here we go. So be it. So I guess theoretically the bass line should be for this would be dun 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 dun. So that way it has two separate components that do the thing. So arguably, let me duplicate this, get rid of Mechastone's pieces. We're gonna go ahead and load this up again and we're gonna call this actual like Mechastone base. I don't know. We're just throwing stupid names at things until I can think of something. Hey, 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 you calm down. No, 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 no. You're being a jerk. Put you back in the room. Only if you're gonna drop the toy. Only if you drop the toy. Only if you drop. I'm not gonna play tug of war. Drop the toy. Drop it. If you don't drop it in my hands, I'm not gonna play. No, don't bite my hand. That's not how this works. Drop it. No. 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 Drop the toy. Drop it. Drop the toy. I need a camera mounted right there so we can watch this little son of a bitch as he's doing this, because I swear you guys, I spend so much time talking to this dog on this program. Like I've gone back and watched some of the VODs, and the fact that you guys don't get to see him as much as I do is really frustrating to me. So we might have to work on that in the future. I'm just gonna paint the floor green so it's all green screen. Well, he is more famous than me already. Everyone already knows Blue. Everyone would know Raven, but she's a shadow and no one can tell that she's actually there. She's Ultra Ninja. Huh, Buggy? I'm talking about you, Pumpkin. Are you gonna drop the toy? Are you gonna drop the toy? This is my toy. So this is the toy that he loves to play with. It's literally just a piece of fabric torn. It was like a sock, I think it was. And I get him real toys, and I get him real bones, and I get him all kinds of, and no. This is what he wants to play with. This is his favorite thing. One of his favorite things in the whole world right now. Okay, ready? Don't jump over your mom. Oh, I know he would. He's a jerk. So let's go ahead and make a Mechastone base, because that's more important. So, and to do that, we're going to delete all the little audio pieces in that. And we're going to start over again. And track them again. So, a lot of music is like this. It's just like painting. You're going to spend a lot of time going through doing the same thing over and over again. And that's okay. Mistakes happen. That's okay. You just take the time and be patient. Be persistent. It's just like Dark Souls. Just like Fallout. Just like any game ever. You slow down. Take it slow. Work with the metronome, work the steps, you'll get through it, and you'll get good. It's all about get good. Take the time, be patient, You'll get it. Drop it. You're gonna drop it in my hand. No. 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 No, you gotta drop it in my hand. Drop it in my hand. No, don't. It's not pet you time. It's drop the toy. So we can throw the toy. No, no, drop the toy. Boo boo. Drop the toy. Blue, drop the toy. No. And he refuses to leave me alone when we're on air. All day he can sit there by himself, but the second I get on air, he's like, "Hey, Daddy, come pay attention to me." Take him out, run him around, take him all around the yacht, the whole nine. I need to stop giving him attention at all. No love for you. This is this is negative reinforcement here. I'm like encouraging your bad behavior. Oh, you actually dropped the toy though. That's a good boy. That's a really good boy. Come over this way. I like when he does the things that he's supposed to do. That's phenomenal. You're distracting me from work, dog. This is not the time for this. Go on. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Go lay down. Boo. You actually gave me the toy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't just snap at me. Go on. He's just like, ah! It's like, no, boy. We don't do that here. You dropped the toy again. Thank you. Good boy. Come over this way. Ready? Come over this way. Ready? He's insanely smart, but he's also incredibly bullheaded. I understand what that's like. Completely. So, a little bit of a stream report so we can kind of get an idea of what's going on over here. It appears so we are at an hour and 48 minutes. We are at 46.5% drop frames, which is decent, but it's not great. And what's funny is we're not using any CPU power. We got 11% used in Ableton, and I've got 10% used on the Streamlabs. So I'm not sure what in the hell is going on here. Around there. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that. To be completely honest with you. So we'll see how it goes, though. It doesn't appear to be dropping too bad. Does it look alright? I don't know. If you're in chat and you happen to see this, let me know how it looks. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, maybe it's good bad, maybe it's bad good. There is no telling. Orgasms on 76. What is Mal doing? This is where all of the power is going to go as soon as I turn this thing on. But I was trying to get some more stuff done. I was trying to get music made. Boo boo. That's not dropping the toy. That's not give me the toy and drop it. No. Drop the toy. No, you got to drop the toy. Drop it in my hand. Right in my hand. Right in my hand. Trust yourself, boy. Trust yourself. Don't bite my thumb, genius. I need that. It's that way. It's right there. It's right there. Drop the toy. Drop the toy, boo. Boo boo. Drop the toy. Boo boo. Drop the toy. Drop the. Ow! That's my thumb, genius. You keep doing this. Drop the toy. Okay. So, let's lay actual bass on the bass tracks with the bass. That was a noise. Are you? Why won't you move and give your mama some space? Why are all of you guys being so intense right now? They're like, hey, ow! You're being a jerk. Drop the toy. Drop it. Drop it. No, no, drop it. Drop it. Drop the toy. You're just trying to munch on me right now is what he's doing. Drop the toy. Drop it. No, not playing that game. Drop it. Mm-mm. Drop it. He wants me to play tug of war with him, but I don't want to play tug of war. I'm like, let's play fetch. No, 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 no. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the toy. Blue boo. This is not the content we tuned in for. We weren't here to watch a dog me battle with my dog. Dog, give me the toy. Give me the toy. Give me the toy. No, 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 no. I don't want to play tug of war. I don't want to play tug of war. Drop it. That's my base. No, drop the toy. I'm not gonna play tug of war. I'm not gonna play tug of war. Drop it. No, you gotta drop it. No, drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Right here in the palm. Right here. Right here. Right here. I know you're short. You can do it. I promise. You can do it. No, no. Give me the toy. I'm sorry, guys. He's just like, it's just like having a kid. It's exactly like having a kid. And this is what he's all after, is this. He wants to play tug of war with this. It's the tiniest little, it's like torn up piece of sock ever. It's not even really a thing anymore. It's just this. It's like a wool stocking, like from someone's Christmas thing. Okay, he's insane. Let's make bass happen. No, 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 no. Nope. Go on. No, you're gonna. No. That's it. That's it. That's it. Go on. No. Go lay down. Wrong part. is why sheet matters, guys. Sheet music matters. Because if you write this down, I wouldn't have this problem. Of course, I don't actually read sheet music, so that would be a problem too. But I mean, I can read sheet music. I just don't like sight read. That's not like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I have to like write them out in English. Cause I'm smart like that. Let's try that one more time, see if we can get just a little bit cleaner, and then go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, we just reached the 2-hour mark. We are currently at 46% drop frames, 9% CPU usage, and we are using about 19% with Ableton. And we have not even fired up Fallout 76 yet. I wonder how this will go. Let's try it. took almost 59 bars, so that should be all of the pieces. I shot that in one shot, which is how I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to do it that way. So what we can do is duplicate this. I'm actually going to plug in guitar. We're going to switch from bass mode to now 8-string mode. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Blue. That's Little Blue. And this makes guitar noise. Now, of course, as with any new instrument, when you're picking it up, as Riley should be done for the day, we're going to rename this Mechastone Guitar. And yes, I know how to spell guitar. No, I don't give a fuck. So now that we have that established, let's move forward. 9! Go lay down. No, go lay down. No. So we need a guitar sound, like a real crunchy, like, I guess we should toggle from this mode to this mode, which will give us this one, which should be. Before we get into ultra guitar noises, let's cut that down. We want the EQ on. We want to cut you down. We want the tuner. Give me the tuner. Alright, so with the tuner, we start from the center out. Which is going to be A. I need new strings for this so bad, so I don't need judgment. But I need our donations for strings. Hit me up for my information and send me strings. So this I do the opposite. I start in the center and go down. This last string I literally just tied up the last time we played. This whole thing might come completely unhinged here in just a second. We'll find out. Sure I had this tuned into 440 last. So I'm letting you guys know in advance, I'm a shit guitar player in comparison to a bass player. However, we have fun. So let's start this off with a factory sound and see how it sounded. Just like that. So part of what I feel like this tone is lacking in bass, I think possibly will be made up with the actual bass tone. So that's one thing to remember when you're factoring in how much sound you're trying to make or whatever else is. Just because your instrument doesn't produce the tone that it has itself, just because the color you're painting with doesn't have the shade you like, doesn't mean that the next color you add on won't make that color you're looking for, even if it's an implied coloration. Same way with painting, the same way as it is with music. So moving onward, we're going to keep this is the default tone. Default. We're going to pick a little bit more of the mids up. We got plenty of treble in there. We got plenty of presence. I think it sounds fresh. We got it tightened up. Let's hear it with the bass, and let's try to track mecha guitar over the mecha bass. Started way too low on that one. You hear that one? Actually, I kind of like that. That real low. So I like the tone. I wish there was a bit more gate on it to kind of cut the sound off a little more. There's nothing to do about that. We're just going to have to try and reprocess it. I don't know what other cabinets would sound fresh. Like I said, I have way too much fun with this tone. All right, so let's try actually tracking it now. I like this one. It's a little bit fatter. It's a little bit lower. We maybe double it up and then use the other one to do some really the high screeching stuff because this one has nice a little bit lower tone. We're also going to try going. We'll try it. Let's just try it, make some screechy sounds, and see how it goes. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, well, that's just how it goes. We started looping back around. That's awesome. Let's just curious. I'm just curious to hear how it sounded because I didn't get to hear how it played because I'm not on there. So let's hear it. So we need to duplicate this guitar, get rid of that sound, set this to mixing, and what we need is some more chunky guitar, I think, to follow the bass. I don't want it to, because the bass has got a good spot there, but the bass we're not getting the most out of the tone from. That's such a hot guitar sound. It's way hot. It's on fire. Shit. Wait. So, we need more of a rhythm guitar. What the fuck was that? That was my chord. Okay. I'm freaking out, man. Ready to take a break for a second? Let's listen to this tape. Let us get some ideas and process. If you are listening, please feel free to join us. What do you think? Do we need more distortion? Less distortion? More reverb? Do we just need some keyboard synths? I do not have a keytar, but I can make a simulated keytar. I know what we need, guys. We need more cowbell. Mississippi Queen. Know what I mean? God, I love the screechy, horrible guitar sounds. Like, it's great. It would be torture for bats, and like, you know, that's how I'd fight aliens. I would just get 100,000 watts of power. Like, you know what they did in the Godzilla King of the... Spoiler alert. What they did at the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters, where they hooked up to Wrigley Field. I'm gonna do that shit. Just hook up to that and fucking play at the alien mothership. Be all, bitch! The most garbage shit lead ever. And just screechy guitar noises. That's how we're gonna defeat the aliens. It won't sell records on Earth, but it will stop aliens when they invade. Maybe that's why they got everyone to stop playing guitars and shit. They're like, we can't handle the fucking feedback. The fuck is wrong with you people? How do you enjoy this? I'm like, this comes from the species that literally eats poison for fun all day long. Like, humans are psychotic. Never fucking forget that. Play mecha guitar. Let's just do it again one more time. In a little bit higher register and a different sound. We use that sound. Too many dissonant guitars did not work together. What I need to do is split that guitar part into two pieces. And that way we can play them both separately. So that way we have a one that's a... Let's just mute this guitar for a minute. Go to this one. Switch all the way into treble mode. We're going to try this guitar tone instead. We're just going to try and get a rhythm guitar onto the bass part, and then we'll go through with the lead channel again on top of it, and then that should pull the whole thing together. Let's try it. Too much Rogue Intense guitar is too much Rogue Intense guitar. Let us go back and try this one last time, and then we shall take a break because we are at 2 hours and 30-minute mark. And it is about the time to take about a 5, maybe even a 10. Let's do this. Trying to think I might want to retract the whole thing. Alright, I'm just going to stop for a second. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, guys, we're switching back. We're going to switch back into bass mode. We're going to redo the bass track with it because I don't like the way the bass sounds with it. I think I'm going to keep the bass the way I was doing it, where it's a little bit more, well, leady. And that way it leaves open end so I can go through with the guitar and with the guitar instead. Then I will have the lead and the bass on the two higher registers together. Boom, boom, boom. So that way they are harmonizing. So to show you what that means in layman's terms, i.e. my terms, we're going to go ahead and fire this thing up. To anybody still in the chat and anyone still tuned in, thank you very much. I'm still Stone. She's not your Queen Bee. We're still not your typical gamers. Woo! On that side. I'm still learning how to get the whole orientation because it's still weird. So, we're going to continue jamming on. I'm partially disappearing and the bass is partially disappearing because of the green screen thing behind me, even though it's not working real great because it's not very big. And because I'm standing up and in the way, we're going to go ahead and do it anyways. Let's cut all the tracks. We just want the metronome with it. One more time. Wrong program, switching programs. Still changing programs. The one in my head, not on the actual machine. The machine's fine. I'm the one that's goofy. Now let's try playing it with less suck. We went ahead and brought the bass down, hopefully contained it a bit, hold that distortion, and change the tone up on it so it's hopefully a little bit less rough. Let's try it again. In time, ladies and gentlemen, in time. Had the microphone down. again, guys. We almost got this thing down pat. It's beautiful. This is how you get it. Practice makes perfect. Remember, no matter how you're doing this, no matter how many times you go about it, when you record, always listen to yourself. Keep yourself critical. You come through with it. You sound better. Every time it's guaranteed results, but you have to be your harshest critic. Don't stop until you're happy and play until you're happy. You will be tired. That's okay. Give it your all. It's okay to make mistakes, just as long as you learn from them. They become building exercises. Which is funny because I keep fucking up the same things. But that's how you get good. Sometimes that's how that works. We've seen it in Dark Souls. We see it everywhere. Stick to it, guys. One at a time. Haha. That puts the 60 bar even. Bear Honey Jar, thank you for tuning back in. Thank you so much. That's actually a compliment. Whenever I can knock people out, that's a good thing. You should actually hear some of my other stuff. It's actually really sleepy and really pretty, which I should probably play just to play something different, just to get kind of off the note for a minute. One thing that I've come to find that's really good, especially when you keep playing the same thing, you're going through, you're practicing, you're making it happen. Sometimes it's nice to deviate a little bit. But to deviate effectively in this case, we're going to need to completely change tone, which means not grind machine. We're going to have to probably shut, well, maybe not shut grind machine off. Here, let's take this, let's switch over to the bass man. Bass master will drop all the gain, drop most of the gain. Let's see what the bass sounds like now. Are we active? It's nice and quiet now. Maybe we can pump that up a bit. Maybe we can pump it up. So that's his gain. So we want something nice and fuzzy. Just a little fuzz. It's warm enough. See if I can get some reverb in here just a touch, just wetting it up. Going on forever. I love it. Why did I have to talk? Then we roll off. So that was that. All terrible.
names for my stuff. I need better names for my stuff. But that's okay.
Also, that tone was a little more bitey, a little dirty than I was looking for, but it was alright. I feel like it wasn't fat enough. Oh, that would have been it, you fucker.